The Department of Government Efficiency's access to Treasury Department data remains blocked. This continues despite conflicting rulings from federal judges. A Virginia judge refused to block DOJ's Treasury data access, but a New York federal judge extended her previous hold on DOJ access, and the Treasury Department must follow the New York ruling. This legal dispute could ultimately reach the U.S. Supreme Court. Apple, meanwhile, planning to invest $500 billion in the U.S. over the next 4 years. The company says this will create 20,000 jobs. This announcement follows President Trump's recent 10% tariff on all Chinese imports. Most Apple iPhones are manufactured in China. Apple CEO Tim Cook met with Trump last week, after which the president hinted at this upcoming investment. U.S. government scientists ordered to stop work on a vital global climate report. The Trump administration directing them to withdraw from international climate research and action. This halts U.S. involvement in planning the next assessment from the world's leading climate science authority. The Intergovernmental Panel report was scheduled for 2029 release. Jo-Ann Fabrics is now closing all of its stores. Wisconsin has 23 locations, including one in Onalaska and one in Eau Claire. The retailer filed for bankruptcy protection last month, but its restructuring efforts failed. Nationwide, Jo-Ann operates 800 stores with 19,000 employees. What to reach for when making a purchase? Is it your debit or is it your credit card? While they look the same, there are pros and cons to both methods. Michael Yoshida tells us more.
To debit or credit? That's the question.
I think it just depends on your relationship with money and your budget, whether or not you're in debt.
A debit card can come in handy if you prefer to pay with cash or don't want to overspend, such as when you want to avoid interest charges, when you need cash from an ATM, and a big one, when you're trying to stay out of debt, as a debit card will only let you spend money you already have.
It's like the cash stuffing method, where if you only put cash in envelopes and you're only allowed to spend that cash, that's the essential equivalent of using a debit card.
Credit cards, on the other hand, are more flexible, allowing you to borrow money to make purchases. They're also useful for earning rewards and points, building your credit score, shopping online with fraud protections debit cards may not have, and booking hotels or rental cars, which may require security deposits.
If you have a credit card, that hold only goes on your line of credit. If you're using a debit card, that means you have to already have that deposit amount in your account.
So what's the bottom line? Know your spending habits and what you want out of each card.
It depends on how you manage your money and also what you're buying. For big purchases, I often err on the side of credit cards for those protections. But debit cards could be really great for those everyday small purchases because the money's taken directly out of your checking account.